Chapter 13. But the earth has its own sake and its pain. Adam descended to the earth and was enveloped in bliss and hell, of a different kind and of another substance, and so Mohsen would wake up every morning to ardent kisses. He would open his eyes and see a wave of the gold of that beautiful hair covering his face, and a sweet voice would say to him, "Au revoir." Then 2 small feet stepped on the wood of the room, heading towards the door, in a semi-dancing movement, then the sound of the door opening and closing, then nothing, she was going to work. After that, Mohsen had no choice but to continue sleeping until dawn. He no longer needed to get up early, and it was no longer the sound of her singing that woke him up, until he was tired of sleeping, so he got up slowly, dressed slowly, then went out to the Odeon restaurant next to the theater to wait for her to eat lunch, then he stayed with her until opening time. The box office is at midnight, so he leaves her to go back to the dinner hour in that restaurant, and then they go, after she has finished working, to the neighborhood cinema, and they sit close together, exchanging kisses in the dark. As do the male and female workers next to them. Mohsen once remembered his first observation, the day he saw a French boy hugging a girl on the road. He thought at that time that this was an insult to the sanctity of love. Do you see him saying that at the moment? No, what has changed? Nothing, he always loves, but it is the taste of love that has changed. An apple is an apple, but the apple is new land. The earth's apple is sweet, but inside it are worms. Mohsen could not bear Susie being 5 minutes late for her appointment, and he could not bear to see her smiling at one of her acquaintances while bowing her head in greeting. He no longer saw her image in his dreams mixed with the tunes of Intermezzo and Friedel dance, but he saw her in his sleep. She hugs her boss, Henry, who learned some news from her, or sees her kissing a young Negro with those passionate kisses. He gets up annoyed and agitated, wanting to tear her body apart with his teeth. Mohsen sat waiting for her one evening in that restaurant which was frequented by Odeon actors and artists, and the hour of her arrival passed and she did not appear at the door, so the smile disappeared from the boy's face, and his desire for food was gone, and he wanted to get up and go out and run away, until you come and don't find it. He was filled with doubts and he could not accept an excuse for her, and he judged her harshly in himself, and wished he could destroy something, her handbag, or one of these dishes. But the door opened at that moment and Susie seemed to rush to him, as if she had read everything in his face, so she began to say, "I was a little slow for you, I wanted to get an invitation ticket to the first party of the new novel, to give it to you." She took out a cardboard patch from her handbag and gave it to him, so he took it, but calm did not settle in. He said to her in a warm voice, "I love you to a frightening degree, to the point of wanting to beat you up." She said, smiling as she scanned the menu with her eyes, "This is really scary, what did you order for food?" I love you so much." He said it like the addressee himself, while examining with his eyes the strands of her loose hair under the hat, and the shop servant came to receive the order. So the girl asked for what she chose from among the colors, and she turned to the contributing boy. She also turned to the servant and shouted to him, "Wow! What do you want to eat?" The boy raised his gaze. It is as if someone came to his senses and took a food stamp while saying, "What should I eat? I do not know. Advise me. I cannot disobey your command." So she asked for him the same as she asked for herself, and the servant left, and she turned to him, "What's wrong with you?" "Nothing. How hot it is inside this place. I feel thirsty." He poured a little water into his cup, took 2 gulps, and Susie said as she searched for her cup, which had not yet been placed on the table, "I feel thirsty, too." She took Mohsen's cup and drank from the place where the boy had drunk, while looking at him with a smile. The boy saw that from her, and said in a weak, fiery, intermittent voice, as if it were a flying intimate, "I have a tremendous desire to kiss you now." So Dalal laughed a gentle laugh, and he looked surreptitiously at those around him in the store. Then he went on to say, "I cannot, now let me be forced to be content to drink from the place that touched your lips, as you did to me." He raised the cup to his lips.